Well, it's about time we talk about the stock Chipotle, ticker symbol CMG.
Chipotle is my life.
Guys, this is a big one that I've been wanting to talk about for a while because it has a huge 50-to-1 stock split coming up. And just take a look at this stock. I mean, this is like Nvidia but on steroids. Just in the past 6 months alone, we have gained over $1,000. But the real reason you clicked on the video is to learn about the stock split and whether or not you should be buying this stock ahead of the stock split or after the stock split, or maybe even at all. But real quick, if you guys are new here, please click that subscribe button, like the video, and comment down below what your favorite stocks are to go over, and I'll maybe review them. First things first with Chipotle, the stock split. They have an upcoming 50-to-1 stock split that is going to rock the entire market, but is going to be a huge change for Chipotle and probably one of the biggest changes we've seen happen to the company and the stock thus far. The last day to buy Chipotle before it goes through the stock split is June 25th. Now on June 26th at 9:30 a.m. when the stock market opens, the adjusted split price will happen and will occur, and therefore your one share of Chipotle will turn into 50 shares, or your 2 shares of Chipotle will turn into 100 shares. That's kind of how a stock split works. And because it's a 50-to-1, for every 1 share you own, you'll be receiving 49 shares to get you to that 50. So you will have a total of 50 shares if you have 1 share currently. But again, a stock split won't actually change the value of people's investment or the valuation of the company at all. Because remember, a stock split is exactly what it sounds like. It's splitting the stock in itself into smaller bits in a way where the price of itself is going to be cheaper. So let's say it's currently at $3,200, and if we take $3,200 and divide that by 50 as to what the stock split is going to be, it means that right now if the stock were to split, it'd be around $64 per share. But at $64 per share, you would own 50 shares. But right now, you own only 1 share at $3,200. So it's the same price either way. You're either getting 50 shares at a price of $64 or 1 share at a price of $3,200. But the thing that people like about stock splits and what makes it more intriguing and has a good chance for this thing to potentially keep on running higher is because it will be more accessible to those that are trading in the retail markets. Just like AMC and GameStop, a lot of retail traders like to buy in, buy out, and trade stocks that are relatively cheaper. And Chipotle being a $3,200 stock isn't going to cut it. But what a lot of companies like to do is to make it more accessible to those retail traders and just for regular everyday investors, they want to make the price more accessible to them. And that's when they do the stock split. So this is a huge one though. Normally it's a 5-for-1 or 10-for-1 stock split. This is a 50-for-1 stock split. But it's because of the fact that it's currently $3,200 that it had to be a large amount. But going down to only $64 per share for 1 share is going to be absolutely insane, and it's going to really bring out the attention for those that are interested or have been watching Chipotle for a while but just haven't had the money to go in and buy a couple shares. But now, hey, you can buy 10 shares at $64. It only costs you $640. If you try and buy 10 shares now, you're talking like $30,000. So again, it's all perception. It's just on how it looks. It's not actually changing the valuation of the company at all. But it actually has in a way because, I mean, look at the way the stock has been trading. If we pull a little bit closer to just the past month when we first announced earnings and the stock split, it was at $2,900 and the stock jumped from $2,900 to $3,200 just off of earnings and stock split news. So in a way, yes, the stock split announcement and the news and the hype and anticipation really has brought a lot more publicity to the stock and has helped it rally. But diving into the stock and going into a couple different reasons as to why I believe it will go higher, first off, it's very impressive growth. And currently, Chipotle is taking over McDonald's in revenue growth, and they're up by 4% roughly. Chipotle's PE ratio, which is price to earnings ratio, is a bit high. It's at 67, where McDonald's and Yum, which is another publicly traded company that a lot of people like to invest in the restaurant industry space, is around 20 for their PE ratio. So Chipotle is trading at a higher ratio, but again, it's also a growth company, and growth companies tend to have higher PE ratios, so that's about normal for it. And taking a look at the price target and stock forecast for the stock, I mean, hey, come on. Right now, we're at its average price at around $3,200, $3,300, but we have high price targets up to $3,700. Now, obviously, it does have some room to fall around that $2,700 area at the lower price targets, but still, currently where we're trading and how much we've run up, we've actually stabilized quite a bit around this 3,100, 3,200 level, where I believe that after the stock split, I think it holds this level and then continues a little bit higher. And let's say it does split around this $3,200 and it's like 64, 65 bucks. I think that we see it rally to around $70, which would be roughly around that $3,400, $3,500 area. But this is a beautiful setup right now. If you just take a look at this chart, it's been trading really strongly. Now, yes, there could be a major pullback because look at stock splits occur with a lot of anticipation, pre-anticipatory hype leading up to the stock, investors buying in, buying the rumor, and then selling right before the actual event occurs, which tends to have the stock pull back the day of, maybe the day before, and then when the event occurs, and in this case the stock split goes through, a lot of investors may jump on for the post ride, which means the stock will start rallying days after, which will be a good thing for us if we're looking longer term or shorter term, because it gives us both a chance to play the short term game in the beginning before the anticipation of the news right now, and then post news after it goes through its stock split to buy into that and trade during that time frame as well. Now, currently, I am in Chipotle right now. I only got one share, and I've been holding this one share for a little bit now, so we've had quite a ride. Am I looking to sell it during the stock split? No. I'll hold on to it. I think that you got to own some restaurant industry type of names, and I think Chipotle and McDonald's are two really, really strong, great names to have in a portfolio. Chipotle, for a while, a couple years ago, was struggling, but I think it's recovered, and it's a great household name and a great retail name to trade eventually once we become more accessible for those retail traders. But for an investor in a longer term purpose, I think that right now it's a little hot. Where I bought it in at wasn't as crazy. Obviously, it was still pretty high, relatively speaking, seeing that, just about a year, not even a year ago. Yeah, roughly about a year ago, we were down in this $1,700 area, and now we've rallied and almost doubled in price. And we're talking doubled from $1,500 all the way up to $3,200. So it's definitely a lot bigger of a drastic move that Chipotle has had compared to a lot of other stocks in the stock market. But relatively speaking, the stock itself has held up very strongly, has been reporting strong earnings both quarter after quarter, which has allowed the stock to rally. So I think you're in a safe name if you get in on a good price. Now, do I think you buy now? I think you wait. I really honestly think, unless you're going to trade this thing and just play off the hype right now, I think you hold off and wait until the actual stock split occurs if you're going to go long term, because I think there'll be a pullback either maybe the day of, the day before, or maybe a couple days after. Once the news and everything comes out and it actually occurs and then it dies down, there'll be a lot of people looking to take those short-term profits. So here's the deal. If you're a short-term trader, you can look into jumping into a trade now. There's a lot of anticipation leading up, and we still have about a week left where you can trade this thing and get in on the action before the stock split occurs. And I think we'll have another huge run up, so we could see that $3,300, $3,400 area very, very soon before the stock split. Stock split occurs, be careful if you want to hold through. We could see some rocky movement both at the upside and downside, so depending on how you play it. But again, you can play the post run up, which will allow us to take trades after the fact and when the stock is at a more affordable price. But remember, you will be trading with more shares at that point, because each share will be about $60, $70 depending on where it splits up at. Now, if you're a long-term investor, I think you sit on the sidelines. I think you sit off to the side and watch this one until you get a better price. I think you honestly wait until after the stock split occurs, because for one, it'll be a better price for you, and two, you can buy more shares in different increments. So if you're trying to get to, let's say, 50 shares, you can buy 15 or 20 shares at a certain price of X, and then wait for it to dip more, and then buy another 15, 20 shares, and then buy another 10 or 15 shares, and add up to that $50 or 50 stock amount, and you can kind of average cost basis that way, which is what a lot of people end up doing. So that's kind of where we're going at with Chipotle. There's a lot we can do with it, both in the short term and long term, but I think we definitely have to watch out for this name. Remember, stock split is going to occur, 50-to-1 stock split, and this will happen. The last day to buy it is June 25th, and it will occur on June 26th. So let me know what you guys are thinking about Chipotle in the comments down below. If you guys are new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, like the video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace out, everybody.